but also adding another person into the mix. DJ Jeff Da Illest joins us, catching him off guard a little bit. Who has the new album out, The Late Night Experience. I'm sorry, I should have gave you a heads up about that. My apologies. It's not like when, like in person, when we're doing this stuff at the studio, you can always like
one, two.
Yeah.
Yes. We did it.
There you go.
Here we go.
Like
what's up, y'all?
When we're in the studio, like we could troubleshoot all these things before. I'm like, yo, check it out. Like the headphone jack doesn't work. So if you just like jiggle a little bit, you can get like a little bit of piece of in this, like, so you don't stare at me blankly when I'm talking to you and you're like, I don't know what's going on. Just like give it a little jiggle and you'll get it back. When we're doing this, I can't signal you to do anything. I have to just talk directly to you.
But I'm here, man. How everybody? I'm here.
There you go. You made it. How are you, sir? Congratulations on the new album, man.
Thank you so much.
A long time in the making, man. I know you've been working on this for a long time.
Late Night one was 2014, and then I took a break, just DJ and all that, and it was crazy. Like about early 2019. Shout out to my man Lennon for Project Mayhem, because I promise you, I was good. I was not even trying to do an album. I was done. What's so crazy about Lennon was like, hey Jeff, is it about time for you to do Late Night 2? God Family Music? I mean, not God Family Music, Late Night 2. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? I'm good. You know, and at the time I just started really making some jams and everything. And from that point, I just wanted to get into production, but at that point I said, okay, I think I could do it. So my birthday of December 2019, I decided, okay, I could pull it. I had a song already in the mix. I had Amazing Part 2. Already cooked. It was already cooked up. Already. And next thing you know, when it came out, because that's featured Sam I Am and Vice Versa.
Yeah.
Right. So when I had that record out, I put it on streaming, and it was huge. People started rocking with it, and from that point, man,
it was go time.
It was good because that was my litmus test. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. Then I did a B-side record, and then from that point, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and work on it.
I want to talk about these the features that you got on there. There's a lot of artists. You're showing a lot of love on across the whole record. You know, how do you bring an expansive team like that together to execute your vision, man? I feel like you're like the Justice League out here. You know, like you got everybody on speed dial. You're like, you know, let's get him in the studio at 3. Let's get them out of the studio at 6. You know.
Well, with this, it was so many visions and goals that I wanted to do with Late Night 2. Number one, me being a DJ, I have a lot of connections with a lot of artists. I'm very instrumental in a lot of the music scene. A lot of people call me the center. I'm somewhere in the game. I'm in the mix. I'm in the mix. If they may give me, it may be advice. It may be, Jeff, help me out with this. Jeff, give me this producer. Jeff, who is this rapper out here? I need that rapper on my album. Let me make that call. And I'm always connected in some form or fashion. So with this album, it was pretty much returning the favor, you know.
Word.
And then on top of that, give a special shout out to Walt G. Be Able. And Be Able didn't really help me this time. He was really, you know, he's getting married. So it was just more like he would help me here and there. He was more like my ear, but it was mainly my cousin Paul Hudson and Paul Branton. And then shout out to my man Most Definite. Most Definite helped me out. So it was a lot of people in the mix.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. My plan wasn't even to do 28, 29 records. You know, it was pandemic. So
that's a lot of work, by the way.
Yeah. Lots of work. It wasn't, to be honest, I didn't even see it that way. It was really like, okay, when I started really making the beats for it, because I'm gonna give you the whole rundown on how everything turned out. Like I said, 2019, I said, okay, Amazing 2 already had it in the bag. I said, okay, this is my litmus test. I put it out. So it got a response. Okay, let me get my producers that I want to work with. And I knew myself I was gonna have like about 5 to 10 beats, just to really put myself out here on the musical side. From that point, I said, okay, I need Hadi, Rashid Hadi.
Absolutely. Yep.
Tony Bangs.
Absolutely.
I even said I need SC. Hands down. I needed them. But here we go. The monkey wrench came, which is called the pandemic. So when the monkey wrench came and the pandemic happened, I was like, fuck. But it was okay. I felt something. So I got this new program. Fuck it, I said. I was using this new program called Serato Studio.
Word. Yeah.
And just started playing with it, you know, because I'm an Ableton user. So, and, you know, Ableton has some great success, but it has some limitations. Man, I started playing around with Serato Studio. I was like, oh, okay. All right. I could do this. I could produce this. I could do this whole album if I want to.
You're right.
Matter of fact, I forgot. Fifth Element too. Fifth Element gave me 3 beats before I even, like, right before the pandemic. So that's the joint Wake Up. So I was like, okay, I had that in the bag. And then from that point, I just said, okay, I could produce the whole album pretty much.
Nice.
Didn't realize that I had I had a gang of records. I didn't even realize I had that many records until I put together the track list.
I always wondered as an artist, because Sam, I know even with you with the OP Sav, like I just figured, like, you know, you're doing records, and at some point you're like, we've been doing this for a while. Like, how many do we have in the chamber? Like, you know, it's like, we're 15. Like how many more do we need?
Yeah,
that's people describe music as an infinite game, man. You are in an infinite game. There is no way to win, and the only way to lose is to give up or run out of resources.
That's it. And the crazy thing was, I'm like, shit, I got 29. Like, trust me, my right hand B Gorman was like, that's not going to happen. You're not finna put no 29 records on one CD. I'm not you're not finna make a double CD. It's not going to happen. No. No. We got to break this up. Matter of fact, it was Gorman and it was Fillmore Green. Fillmore Green first. Fillmore Green, like, you gotta give him a little bit and save the rest for another time. Can't give him everything. And me,
you're like, let's just put it out there. Let's, you know.
Yeah, I'm like me. It was two. I'm gonna say there's 2 reasons why I went threw it out there. Number one, I'm from the era of hip hop where 18 to 20 songs and majority of them was dope. Gangstar.
Gabe is also from that era. Gabe is firmly from that era.
Yeah.
And I like to remind him constantly that is the era in which he is from.
Right.
Jeff,
Gangstar.
Sam likes to refer to us as dinosaurs, by the way, but go ahead.
Hey! Hey, I don't mind it. Public Enemy.
Yeah.
Takes a Millions. Reason. Not Reason. Takes a Millions and Fear of a Black Planet.
Mhm.
Gangstar Step Into the Arena.
Classic.
Big Daddy Kane. It's a Big Daddy thing. Those are albums that had more than they had 20 records. 20, 25 records, and all of them shits were cold.
Right.
You know, even Master P, The Last Don, that was a double CD.
I'm not gonna go with you on that boat, but
I'm just saying these are records, these are albums that have more.
But yeah, they met the expectations. Yeah,
right. Even though that was whack, you know, I like Dipset. Dipset was a dope. To me, Dipset was crazy.
Dipset is hella influential, man.
There shall not be any slander against Dipset ever.
Hell no. No, I just watched some Green Zones content before I hop on here, guys.
No, sir. And that was a double CD. So for me, I was like, okay, I could do a double. Like, it was Mos Def that pushed it. He was like, hey, this shit is cold. This is classic. This is a classic album. Why not?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why not?
That's fantastic.
And then from that point, I said, fuck it. Let me do my. I'm always about the litmus test. When I decided to do the litmus test, and I did, my audience on Facebook, they gave it. I'm like, I got 29 records, and they like, let's play it. Let's go. We here for the ride. We want to hear. We want to hear it all. All these years, we want to hear it, and they was like, put them out.
Is DJing and producing? I know you're not new to it, but what is the similarities or the differences between the two?
I teach a class. DJing and producing go hand in hand. I always tell most great producers are great DJs. Some of your top
That's true. That's keys right there. I'm just gonna let y'all know. Yeah.
Some of your top tier producers, Premier, Ninth Wonder.
Dre started off doing DJ mixes too.
Dr. Dre, he was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These are top tier producers. Some of the best producers in the business.
Yep.
You even some of your R&B producers, Michael Cox, he's a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And
the ever slept on Idris Elba.
There you go. So, and I have a funny story with Idris Elba. I used to DJ at Crocodile Lounge, and never forget him. They brought Idris Elba. He was coming. He DJ'd a party on the boat. My God, today, this man tried to come for me, thinking he fresh. I'm like, yo, Idris, this Chicago nigga. This ain't that. This ain't that. Your prettiness can get you in places you could get in, but this DJ shit, it ain't about your pretty boy tendencies. This is DJing, B. You gotta come with it. And me and Idris, he good people, beyond the pretty boy action and the London accent.
Did he like? He's like, yo, pass the remote, or you're like, nah, not this time.
No, I gave him a shot. I'm like, come on. You know what I mean? You're gonna play your set. You're gonna play your set. This Chicago. You gotta come with it. You gotta come with the bats, B. This ain't that.
I don't even think you're allowed to say no because you're like, it's Idris Elba. Like, what are you gonna do? But that's hilarious.
I give him his leeway, but at the end of the day,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Like,
the one thing I love about DJing, it ain't about how good you look. How your sneakers is rocking and all that. They want to hear you play these records and play them right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you ain't playing them right, get the fuck off this motherfucker turntable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I see that a lot.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this Chicago, right?
This Chicago.
Ain't
This
it?
Chicago. We don't play that.
We don't play that.
We don't play that. But
They booed John Legend off the stage before. I tell that to people all the time. Like if it can happen to John Legend, it can happen to you.
It can happen to anybody in this mog. I'm telling you, Chicago is a hard city, and I'm glad I'm from here. But at the same time, when you go to other places and present music, and you do, it gives you that wherewithal and that strong, that girt, that girt. But DJing and production, the one thing with me, the production becomes easier once you learn the methods and create methods. And one thing I always say to my class, my production class especially, the more musical you are, the more production becomes easier. And that's the biggest problem, I think, in music today. You got cats that just want to make hits versus making classics.
Right.
People want to make them hits, quick hits too. McDonald's hits.
Microwave. Yeah.
They want it in and out, and we out.
I was gonna say that the ideas stuck out a lot to me through the production throughout. You have this retro sound. You use a lot of female vocalists, a lot of samples, and a lot of soul sound. So what about that sound? What about that time excites you?
I'm from, like, if you listen to my first album, I have a song called Classic Me. I like to stay classic. I mean, timeless hip hop. I'm from an era where we celebrate albums right now. Mobb Deep is 25, 26 years old. Yeah. And we celebrate it, and we still listen to it. Yeah. Notorious B.I.G., we celebrated him on March 9th. And the music still resonates. I still listen to Michael Jackson's Off the Wall.
Oh, yeah.
And the records are timeless, and they still resonate. So when I make hip hop, I want to make sure that I stay in the core, but also show the musicality of where I come from. I say this all the time. I cannot make no trap music because I don't live that lifestyle.
Right.
Nah, I can't do that. I don't live that life. How could I make songs or music that I'm not a representative of? I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. I'm a representative of a classic generation.
Word. I like what you said about timeless music, and I want to flip the question back around on itself now. And this is maybe also a question for Gabe on the show. But what would new music have to do to give you that same level of excitement, that same level of feel? Like, because obviously day one of Mobb Deep coming out, you would have no idea that it's going to last for 25 years. I mean, it's a great album, of course, like it's got legs, right? But you have no idea how far that goes. So, what could a new artist do that would excite you about the new release more?
Well, time frame. Think about what's going on. Like right now we are in pandemic. We got racism going on. We got politicians that's trying to keep Black and brown people from voting. We got people that don't give a fuck about a mask right now. You know what I'm saying? They like, man, I'm partying. I don't care. And then with that on that level, people want to get out and enjoy themselves too. So with me, with when it comes to a new artist, you have to be aware of what's going on around the world. And one of the main things that's going on around the world is people want a release and relief. You know what I'm saying? And not only release and a relief, they also want you to not be afraid to speak truth to power. You know, I do that on this album in the most positive way I can, you know, but I also know that you cannot sit, like, the biggest problem I have with new rap, well, the rap that they're afraid to speak truth to power because they're afraid of the dollar sign that it won't sell. And I'm like, you need to take a page, and you know, I love Kanye, but sometimes Kanye be on his bullshit. But one thing I respected about Kanye when he first came out, he always was not, he spoke truth to power. He made Jesus rocks, and he didn't care what people thought. And when he put it out, people loved it because he not only had a good beat, but it had a good message.
Right.
You know,
I agree. I agree with you, Jeff. And to answer Sam's question about what a new artist could do, and I think and I know when Kendrick did To Pimp a Butterfly, he already, you know, did Good Kid, Mad City, but I think that what he was able to capture in the sort of right on the eve of what was happening in Ferguson and the transformation of the country into more of a racial awareness and an awareness to social and law enforcement injustices, it was like the perfect album, the perfect soundtrack for that moment, which it sticks in people's memories and why people love to listen to that record because it captures something. If I'm a new artist, one thing I shouldn't be doing is chasing what the fad is. I should be doing what makes me happy. And if people love it, great. I don't see Kendrick Lamar listening to what's on commercial radio and like, I need to replicate that. He's like, no, I'm doing what I want to do. And if people follow it, great. If they don't, then that's fine too as well. Like Jeff was saying, too far often our younger listeners and our younger audience are really interested in trying to replicate something they seem as doable. And I'm not saying that drill or trap is something that you can easily copy or duplicate, but I think the assumption is that I can make these kind of hi-hats, I can make these kind of drum patterns, and then I can just spit a bunch of crazy stuff about my life, which may or may not be true, and post a video, and then it will sell or take off. But that's not classic, and that's not everlasting. That's for the moment. And I think too many times our newer artists are looking for the now and not trying to build a foundation for tomorrow.
I like that. You know, that both of you guys brought up timelessness or timeliness, I should say, to make timelessness occur. So no, that was interesting.
Jeff, the new album is out there on your Bandcamp, The Late Night Experience. It's a fantastic.
No. Hold on. It's on. I decided to do it on my site.
Okay, please tell us where it's at.
JeffDaIllestMerch.com.
That's right.
JeffDaIllestMerch.com.
All right.
The reason why I did that because I have merchandise, so you can buy your hoodie, sweater. If you buy the zip up hoodie, you get the album for the free.
All right, cool.
So
there you go.
That's there. But
say less.
I need to get my Jeff Da Illest sweater. We didn't get into this, but I love what you've done with your health, attacking it before we went into. There's just so much we have to get into. We have another guest on deck, but I know we want to get to that. But I'm hoping that the sweater will also come with the extra motivation. So, so if you could bless my sweater when you send it out, that'd be great.
No problem. I got you. I got you, man.
Jeff Da Illest is on these social medias at Jeff Da Illest. Go get the album, put it into your life, and go get some merch as well. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.